We are back again. It is another new day on YouTube. That means it's another new albums that you may have missed from 2020 from Cameron from Ozone Baby on YouTube. And of course, these are my favorite records of 2020. So I'm gonna talk about ones that you definitely didn't miss, but we feel like the SEO is gonna be a little bit better if we name it albums you may have missed in 2020. So bear with us. You know why you're watching it. Yeah, I know. It's coming out halfway through the year in 2021. But guess what? I listened to all the records in 2020, not just most of the records in 2020. And I'm doing this for you, so you don't have to sift through the shit. You can just find the diamonds. You're welcome. By the way, these are in no order. I'm just talking about my favorite and the best hip-hop and rap records of the year. We're starting off with Princess Nokia with Everything is Beautiful. This is the sister record to Everything Sucks, and Princess Nokia did something that I'm seeing a lot of artists do in 2020. Artists that I previously did not like anything that they put out are just coming out with dope records in 2020. How is this possible? Maybe Cameron has evolved. Probably not. They've probably just evolved as artists. I'm staying in the same general place. Let's be honest. I'm stagnating, just like the rest of you. So, this has that modern R&B rap style that's going on that's very, very popular, of course, right now. And Princess Nokia is doing it here better than almost anybody else. Everyone, the myriad people who are trying to do the modern R&B inflected rap sound, take notes, Nokia crushed it here. And since I said it was a sister album, let's talk about the second part here. This is Everything Sucks. I like this one a bit better than Everything is Beautiful. But once again, Nokia coming through like I never thought she could. This is, of course, the one with the more hardcore rap influenced trap rap going on. You're gonna find, obviously, something that looks kind of like the album cover when you listen to this one. Obviously, something that goes with the album's name. Everything is Beautiful's got the modern R&B. This one has the trap rap, hardcore hip hop thing going on. This doesn't actually suck like you think it would. It's actually phenomenal. Every Midwesterner who's going to high school who thinks that they can rap and they're a badass, take notes from Princess Nokia. She's more badass and doing it better than you. Keeping it in kind of the same lane, but going way over the edge, we have Backwash with God Has Nothing to Do with This, Leave Him Out of It. If you thought horrorcore was stale, you were right, it is stale. Then Backwash came on the scene. If you think that your hip-hop is dark and scary, might be left shaken in your boots from this one. Backwash just crushes it here, comes out with such an inventive sound, and don't get me wrong, it's a similar sound throughout, but it's kept short and sweet. It is exactly a focused EP record, whatever you want to call it here. If you're looking for dark, scary hip-hop, this is it. Backwash, God Has Nothing to Do with It, leave him out of it. All right, next we have Blu and Exile with Miles. This is not only an S-tier rap record, this may be my rap record of the year, and that's what it is. It is rap with all caps. The production is immaculate, soulful, and meaningful. The rapping, the rhymes, they're technical. They are unbelievable. You can sink your teeth into them. They have so much wordplay and they're so meaningful and soulful. If you love rap music and appreciate it as an art form, this is easily in your conversation for record of the year. Blu and Exile are back and I am so happy that they've been doing interviews saying that, hey, we're going to be putting out a lot more stuff because, like I said, probably my rap record of the year. All right, next up we have Public Enemy with What You Gonna Do When the Grid Goes Down. This is obviously Public Enemy rap legends, and this is, I guess, kind of them coming back technically, but this isn't bad like Prophets of Rage. This is actually really good. Of course, there's a ton of political lyrics here. It's Public Enemy. Everything's going to be political. But along with the politics, there's this real joy. It's this joy of these legends of rap and hip hop who really helped create the genre in a way, collaborating with people not only who are their peers, but people they helped bring up. So it's legends collaborating with legends and having a great time do it. Really top-notch modern rap record. Public Enemy, great job. All right, next we've got Cakes to Killa and Proper Villains with Muvaland. If you've been watching the videos, I've already talked about this. This is one of the best hip house records I have ever heard. If you think you like something like Gold Link sucks. This is awesome. Cakes to Killa, haven't really liked any project that he's put out in the past, but I really, really love this EP. I think it's because of more of the house elements to it. This is phenomenal. This is like a sweaty Miami nightclub. It's like the movie The Birdcage. I've already said all that I need to say about it. This is an S-tier record from 2020. If you want body-moving, kinetic rap and hip-hop, Cakes to Killa doesn't deliver just a single like he usually does here. He delivers, with Proper Villains, a whole project. Crushes it. S tier. All right, here we have Your Old Droog with Dump YOD. Now this is a mixtape of Your Old Droog rapping over flipped old school, mostly fiddle, Eastern Bloc folk music, which sounds, of course, like it would be silly and kind of like a joke, like on TikTok, or like the East instrumental from Earl Sweatshirt from that Feet of Clay project, if you know what I'm talking about, and all the memes that spawned. But it's not silly at all, actually, it turns out, when Your Old Droog gets his hands on it. He's pretty much the only one who could do something like this, and this project, just like Your Old Droog, is as New York as it is Ukrainian. It's good. It's fun. Next, you knew it was here. It's Run the Jewels with RTJ4. What's left to be said about this record that hasn't already been said? Run the Jewels again comes in and they deliver more of their storied, thought-provoking, funny, political, meaningful, human, violent lyrics over some of the best beats in hip-hop. Putting Killer Mike and LP together is one of the best things that's ever happened to hip-hop or rap, if we're talking from a production or a lyrical angle, and especially when you meld those two things together. RTJ4 is just another notch in that amazing belt. They just keep on ratcheting it up. One of their most varied projects to date. It's Run the Jewels. Next, we have Dos Monos with Dos Siki. This is a Japanese hip-hop, I believe, trio, and they show that if your beats and your flow are good enough, your lyrics, which are the centerpiece of this type of highly lyrical rap, they don't even really need to be understood just because your flow and beats are so good. They crush it again here. They've been crushing it and they keep on crushing it, I think, since like 2018. I'm so happy that they're getting more and more recognition. They even have Injury Reserve featured on a track here. Please go check this out, even if you don't, of course, speak another language. If you just speak English, check this out. Here's Clipping with another Halloween record, Visions of Bodies Being Burned. I would call this horrorcore, but I almost think that does it a disservice. It doesn't sound like early Eminem or early Tyler or Necro or anything like that. It sounds like a horror movie soundtrack, like a slasher film. The way that the lyrics go over these horror movie type instrumentals, it's not the same way that like the lyrics and the flow is going over the beat like in trap or something like that. They're full on married to the music that is here. It's not just a looped beat. It's not just a, head knocking, trunk knocking thing. I guess this is rap for John Carpenter fans. This is if a slasher film was a technically rap song. Go check this out if you think that rap is only lyrics over beats. It can really be used to paint a picture here. All right, this is a hotly debated one. This is Childish Gambino with 3:15:20. Now, the reason I think it's hotly debated is because of the wild switches it does in genre all over the place. It not only does it track by track, but it does it in the middle of tracks. I think that's completely okay, because that's exactly how this was marketed. This wasn't marketed as an album with an overarching story and peaks and valleys. This isn't a because the internet. This is like if you went through Mr. Dong Lover's hard drive on March 15th, 2020, and this is just all these musical ideas all shuffled and put together. The tracks are untitled. The album's untitled. There's no album artwork to speak of. It's just a dump of musical ideas, and that's exactly how it was put out. That's exactly how it's supposed to be listened to. If people are being turned off because it's so bipolar and so back and forth to all these different just musical ideas that seem unconnected, that's the whole point. That's the way it was marketed and the way it should be consumed. I'm just happy we get to listen to all these ideas that Donald has. Next up, we have Action Bronson with Only for Dolphins. This is Action rapping over poolside.fm instrumentals. Need I say more? If I do, unbelievably, this record has some of Action's best quotables and best one-liners. He's a guy known for those, and his sense of humor and his imagery. They're just all top-notch here. It really is a very focused album as far as its sound and how fun and how summery and how casual and jokey it is. It's like Hotline Miami rap, but without any of the seriousness and all of the camp turned up to 11. This is Action Bronson showing you that he knows his lane and he constantly changes it at the same time. And that's why he is going to be a rapper who's remembered forever. You're seeing it with projects like this where he just keeps on hitting it out of the park with little fun ideas that he has, and he can blow up into an album that's very focused. All right, we've got the Minnesotan Prof here with Powderhorn Suites. This is just more bangers with lyrical angles from Prof. He's doing what he does best, although I will say there's more personal lyrics here than previous albums that I find, and I would also say that the final quarter of the album, maybe even the final just couple songs, are less bangery than you would usually think from Prof. But still, you know what you're getting with the Prof record. Bangers with just really well done lyricism. Here it is again. Terrace Martin, Robert Glasper, Ninth Wonder, Kamasi Washington. It's Dinner Party. I've talked about it in a few lists. It's got enough jazz from Kamasi to be jazz. It's got enough R&B, modern R&B to be pop. It's got enough rapping and loops with Ninth Wonder, obviously, to be rap. And if I put it just in one category, I feel like people wouldn't listen to it. It's just a really flippin' good record. If you like rap, you'll like it. If you like jazz, you'll like it. If you like pop, you'll like it. In Ninth Wonder, he rides these amazing instrumentals that, of course, Kamasi Washington, he's got a lot of input in. And Ninth Wonder just raps over these enough to make it like, oh, I'm listening to something chill, and then Ninth Wonder comes out of nowhere and just dices things up like he's so known to do. So if you're a rap fan, please check this thing out. Next, we have Mac Miller with Circles. You can call this pop rap, neo soul, whatever you'd like. It's a fantastic record. And it's no secret that I do not like anything else that Mac Miller has ever put out. But this record is a really phenomenal record. And it's not just because, sadly, he passed away, and this is a posthumous record. It's because it has an amazing sound, and it has amazing, heartfelt songwriting. And of course, his voice isn't the best, but the emotion carries it through. And this record will be legendary. Hopefully not only because it is a posthumous record, and not only because it talks about depression and suicide and drugs and things like that from that perspective of, hey, he just passed away, but because it's a great record on its own merits, and because of the situation surrounding it, it will be remembered for a long, if not all, time. All right, people, next we have the Koreatown Oddity with Little Dominique's Nosebleed. This was the rap surprise of the year for me. This is easily S tier. It's right up there with Miles by Blu and Exile. This record is diaristic and personal, almost to the point of a Mark Kozelek record. It's very much a story from beginning to end, and it has you hanging on every single word. And that's not to say that the production is bare bones or anything. This is just a rap record that has you very, very dialed in. There are, of course, more bangery songs here, but every lyric and every word is very, very important and paints such an unbelievable picture and tells such an unbelievable story. Easily S tier. I'm so glad that the Koreatown Oddity is getting noticed for stuff like this. I did not know him before this record, and I'm glad this is blowing him up because holy cow, is there some stuff to pick through here. Easily S tier. You knew it was coming. We could not end the list without this. It's Freddie Gibbs and the Alchemist with Alfredo. Now, this is a hot take, but I think that Freddie Gibbs sounds 10 times better, if not 100 times better with The Alchemist than he does with Madlib. And I know, I'm not saying that Madlib is bad, I'm not saying that Elk is better. I'm saying that Freddie Gibbs and The Alchemist mesh so perfectly on this record to make it an easy S tier for me. This record nails the whole Godfather thing, the whole mafioso of rap. This is one of the most cold-blooded, thrilling, and real rap records of 2020. Phenomenal. I think probably Freddie Gibbs' best ever. Last but not least, we have Black Thought with Streams of Thought, Volume 3, Cain and Abel. Now, of course, it being Black Thought, this has some of the best rapping of 2020 on it. It also, of course, being Black Thought, has some points where he puts his foot in his mouth, some risks that don't pan out. But having said that, of course, this is still going to be an amazing record full of a bunch of different ideas with a massively lyrical focus. Intricacy, rhyme schemes, flow are all better than almost anything else you'll hear this year. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are my favorite rap records of 2020. I hope you've listened to these. I hope you enjoy them. Let me know in the comments what I missed, what you think is like, oh my gosh, thank God you mentioned this record. Of course you had to talk about Freddie Gibbs this year. Let me know you're like, why didn't you talk about this? I thought that was a pretty good album. Let me know what you loved, what you hated, all that kind of stuff, because really I do this just to talk about music. If you can't tell, kind of like talking about albums and releases. I listen to all of this shit so you don't have to, and so the ones I talked about, you get to. My favorite rap records of 2020, hope you didn't miss them. If you did, I won't tell anybody. Just tell me. Cameron from Ozone Baby signing off.